Live from the Echo Network studios here in beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. This is Odd Musings, and we are your hosts, Brett Pinson.
And I'm Scott Zambelli.
Welcome back live again. We are live on the Facebook Live as well as oddmusings.com for streaming. We've got a guest this week calling in. Randy Zimmerman's going to be calling in from Flint Comix. Talk about him about what's going on with Flint Comix, his upcoming little fall con this Saturday at the Flint Farmers Market. So we've got it set up for the Facebook Live people. Hopefully you can hear it through the way we have the microphone. If not, tune in to oddmusings.com to get the stream live so you can hear everything.
Yes, and then we'll also be doing our in-depth review of Game of Thrones finale, season 7.
We'll cover as much of that as we can and have a little fun with that one. That was a great season. Looking forward to the next season on that. Of course, 2019 is going to be a long wait for that.
Yes, definitely. And then today also we have a special road trip we're doing today.
Yeah. We're going to go see our sponsor, Chubby Duck. We're taking Connie, the Comic-Con mom. She's hiding out in the studios here. She's not going to be on air today. And we're going to take her down there and get some Chubby Duck sushi for lunch and say hi to the folks down there at the Chubby Duck Detroit. So let's start off with this. Scott, tell us a little bit about the Chubby Duck.
The Chubby Duck, they are, I don't have it pulled up yet, so I'm going to ad-lib it, even though I read it every week, so I should know it off by heart.
Yeah.
But, Chubby Duck is, they're located in downtown Detroit, and what they do is they take locally sourced foods and ingredients and put them together for their amazing recipes that they have come up with every week they're coming up with new things and posting them on their website, so you can follow them on Facebook at Chubby Duck Detroit.
Yep.
You can follow them there or go to the Odd Musings page and go to our sponsors page and you'll find the links on there also. And great food. We've had them in studio.
I'm looking forward to actually trying it freshly prepared right there and not an hour and a half, 2 hours later. As good as it is 2 hours later, it's got to be even better when you get it fresh.
Yeah, and it's really good. And don't you worry, you won't get it an hour or two later. Ours was just purely because...
Only because they have to drive it in.
They have to drive it in, and then they have to wait for the segment on the show. But like I said, it still was delicious even then.
Yeah, so excited about that. And
plus, I want to see the restaurant itself. We've seen photos, but
I think it's going to be fun to actually be there. We're going to get some pictures. We'll probably do a Facebook Live video later on this while we're there, so you guys can see us. We'll take some other video and post some stuff later. Those that want to go down there, I hadn't looked down there before, so I looked to see where we're going to park at. They are right across from the parking garage for the Detroit Opera Center. And I noticed, for regular parking, like when there's no big events going on, it looks like it's only $8 for 24 hours right there. So it's not bad parking to drive down there during the day, Monday through Friday, and grab some sushi, hang out. There's a lot of other stuff. They're right near Campus Martius, is a couple blocks away. So a lot of neat things. So we'll definitely let you guys know how it is, which we know it's going to be awesome.
And also, if you follow them on their page, you'll see their business hours. They're typically like lunch and dinner type.
11 to 7 is their typical hours.
But when there are huge events going on, they do create special hours, and that's another reason to follow them on their page. So if you are going downtown, you'll know what their special hours are for those events.
Yes, they come in, they do stuff for like the weekends for the Tiger games, things like that. And for those of you that live in Detroit, they're right by the YMCA also, and they've got a pop-up little store restaurant they do in the YMCA at times, so watch them for them there as well.
Yeah, so we're excited and looking forward to our first field trip.
Yeah. So, besides that, though...
a lot of events going on this weekend. First and foremost, I want to just say our prayers are with the people of Houston.
Yes.
They're getting hammered by Hurricane Harvey.
Hurricane Harvey came in. And one thing about that is, for those that like to donate, we're not going to specify any one place. The one place I will say is, I know the Red Cross is a legitimate place. Look into giving there. Watch out for, and it's not been talking about too much, watch out for people just saying, hey, donate here, here's a GoFundMe, here's this. Be careful on that, because unfortunately unscrupulous people will pop up. So if you're looking to donate, definitely donate to the Red Cross. Look for legitimate sources and stuff like that.
JJ Watts from the Houston Texans, the football team, he also put together a fundraiser type thing he's doing where he's organizing for Houston, and he started off just hoping to raise $1 million. Now they're aiming for $5 million because it's so.
They already hit 4.
Oh, it's already past that.
Yeah, they were on this morning talking about that.
So it's been a huge success. So I'm sure if you you Google that, you can find it.
Yeah, and there's several different legitimate gathering that. Just the only thing I'm bringing up is anytime we seem to have a disaster, people pop up with stuff left and right, and I hate to see somebody donate money with good intentions and it goes to the wrong places.
Correct.
So definitely watch out for that.
The amount of rain they've gotten is just insane too.
Over 50 inches.
Yeah, that they've gotten more rain. They broke for Houston alone in a 48-hour period, they broke their record for a full month of rain. And
well, and they've had a big drought going on for a while there.
Yeah.
It's weird. They go to drought, then they have like a rush of water and then a drought, and throughout most of Texas, as well as the rest of the country, and lately it seems like. But this is definitely going to be a tough thing for them. They've got a lot of rebuilding to do, but it seems like the Texans are pretty resilient.
Yeah, they'll get through it. And, obviously it sucks going through it, but
it does. Yeah.
As a community and a state, I know they'll go through it, and and the country's behind them, and so I'm sure everything in the long run will be good.
Yeah, it's just going to take some time.
So prayers with them. So anyone we know down there.
Yep, it's definitely hopefully keep everything go just fine on that, and they get dried out here really soon.
Exactly.
So this past weekend, Scott and I were up in Lansing, Michigan. Actually, East Lansing.
Yeah, at the Michigan State University Breslin Center.
Yeah, that's where the basketball teams play at.
Yes.
And so we were right down on what would have been the floor, but it was all the cement. They didn't put the floor out for us.
I wonder if the players sit there and go, "This is where Brett and Scott sold their comic books."
I know they do. I took pictures.
They definitely do it for Mess Bucket Comics, because Dominic was there also.
Yeah, I took some pictures outside their locker room because they had some really cool stuff out there.
I think I actually saw some MSU players taking selfies where Dominic's table was.
Yes.
Just so they could document the experience.
Yeah, they were like, Ravager, right here, click.
But in all seriousness, it was a great show.
It was a lot of fun. It's my first time doing their show. I guess it's the second year for them at the Breslin Center. I think it's a great facility for this show.
Yeah, their third year total. I did their very first year. They were at a small high school gym.
I believe it was I remember that. It was like a free comic book day a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Which is an odd time for any show.
There were a lot of factors then. You had free comic book weekend plus Mother's Day weekend was happening or was just around there or something.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Because of Mother's Day, when it fell, it caused Motor City to be a different time, which caused them to have to move.
Yeah, it threw everything off on the whole schedule.
For people who don't know, because of the insane oversaturation of Comic-Cons like we've talked about in the past, what happens is, for various reasons, a major show will change its dates. And then all of a sudden there's a domino effect where you see all these other shows scrambling to reschedule their time frames.
Well, we've had that because Gem City, a show we do every year, Jesse had to change his because C2E2 was going to be the same weekend in Chicago. Now, some people might say, oh, well, there's a good distance. Well, the problem wasn't about the fans. It was about getting the vendors and dealers. And he has a fair amount of people that do C2E2. And
not just vendors and dealers. If depending on the type of show you are, too, it can cause you trouble with getting guests.
Right.
So if you are a show that wants a media guest and you have a giant show going on.
Well, even some of the comic guests, though. Major comic guests sometimes can be booked in.
Which is why a lot of times, like a lot of fans will wonder, why don't shows put on during like the same time as San Diego Comic-Con, for instance, saying, well, only so many people are going out there. Have a show out here during the same time. Problem is you can't get anybody.
Yeah.
All the major media guests.
I've seen some
major
smaller shows
over there.
Yeah, smaller shows sometimes, but even then they only draw a few hundred people.
Right.
But any show that's trying to do a major one, they're not going to want to tie up anybody. Even though they say, well, so-and-so's not going. If they're not going to San Diego and they're a decent name, they've got work to do. So that's their time. They get caught up.
True. So yeah, but Capital City was great. Really enjoyed it, and definitely I am looking forward to being back there next year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be around the same time. They said somewhere on like August 25th, I think it is. Or something
they
like
said
that,
the same weekend. So.
Yeah, so that same weekend. That'll be fun. So definitely look forward to that. We'll keep you guys updated on that for our schedules. And, and then also by then they'll have the Breslin Center done. They were doing a lot of construction while we were there because they've been renovating the place. Mm-hmm. Looks great. Parking was very, ample. And it was easy to get to. It was right off of 496 there.
Yeah, you get off there at
Trowbridge Road. And you're down not even a mile and you're there.
Yeah.
So easy to get in, easy to get out of there, hang out. It was a lot of fun. They did a costume contest. A lot of great cosplayers were there.
Yep.
And they had a few named people. Mark Bagley was there of Spider-Man fame for comics. And
True.
They brought in different people. They had Dominic there. He wasn't a guest, though. But we knew about the show from Dominic because he told us about it last year.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. And so I'm glad I had a chance to do that. Definitely want to be back next year for that. And get a chance to see everybody we saw up there. And saw a few familiar faces and a lot of new faces. So I was exciting about that.
Definitely. I agree. Also, as we talked about, we will be covering Game of Thrones in a little bit here at the end of after we talk with Randy Zimmerman of Flint Comix. But one thing I do want to point out about Game of Thrones too is a lot of people I've seen panicking because first of all we thought it was a year wait, and then they announced no, it's actually 2019 I guess now. So now it's a 2-year wait we have to do. But the benefit of that is originally this was supposed to be the last season and only 10 episodes long.
Right.
And they decided to, instead of having 10 episodes, break it up into 2 seasons. So this is actually all going to be bonus stuff coming forward.
Right.
But so we'll have this season was 7 episodes, and some of the episodes were over an hour. So this one was
most of them were about an hour. The one episode was like 48 minutes, and part of that was they had to cut off at a certain point because they didn't want to start another
story-wise. Right.
Yeah, it's more of a teaser for the last 2 episodes. I think is what it was.
That is a cool thing too about Game of Thrones is they're making the episodes based on what the story requires.
Right.
So they're not putting a stupid scene in just to fill 5 minutes. You know.
That's the thing. Every episode was jam packed. They went by fast because there was constantly something was going on.
But I will say,
even in what you feel is lulls.
With how good this season's been, even stupid scenes I want to see because they were all good.
But yeah, the scenes where there were lulls though, they were all you had to really pay attention to what they were saying. There was always something being said.
Agreed.
That would lead to stuff. And we'll talk more about that, and we'll get to that later on.
Yeah, but also, so I want to talk a little bit about our sponsor, International Minute Press.
Yes, one of our other sponsors is International Minute Press, and they are located in Plymouth, Michigan. They design, print, and promote you, and they're offering specialty printing services, custom graphic designs, marketing consultation, and promotional products. IMP, as they like to be called, has the services and skills to help artists and entrepreneurs looking to take their businesses to the next level by exceeding client and customer expectations. They're doing a lot to help guys like us that are artists for getting our prints and things like that. But they work with every business, so anything you need that would require a print shop, they can do, and they're always adding more stuff to their arsenal. So definitely check them out.
Yeah, and some examples of what they can do. They have a wide format printer that does this amazing quality printing.
So they can do large poster size.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong. It's on a roll of paper, so the width can only go up to so far, but then the length they can go as long as you need.
Right. So there's a lot of cool stuff they can do, and they do this backlit paper too. So we're creating some cool backlit signs for inside your businesses. So it's really awesome. When you walk in, Joe did a design of Jon Snow from Game of Thrones, and he printed it up
his own artwork.
Yep, he is an artist in his own right, and he posted that, printed that up, put it up on the wall, and it's lit up. It looks really awesome, and they're all excited about having that capability for a print shop.
Yep.
And so you could get that too, and all you do is contact them at either 734-414-6203. You can visit them online. It's a long website, so just go to oddmusings.com and click the sponsors page. But they are located at 1058 South Main Street in Plymouth, Michigan, and they do ship anywhere.
So
anybody can order.
Location doesn't matter.
Yep.
You can email your files in and take care of everything that way.
And give them a call. Everyone who works there as an artist background.
Yep.
So they have design background, so they're definitely can take care of any needs that you have. And you don't have to be an artist. I mean, like I said, if you're running a business, you need business cards, you need help with different design stuff. You can
if you have a large company where you need high quality flyers to hand out, whatever, you name it, or
postcards.
Business forms.
Yeah.
And they can do business forms too. It doesn't have to be art. So
when I was there for their grand reopening a couple weeks ago, I saw they were printing up some different business forms that looked like they were the 3 type.
And if you're a nerd like us, talk to Joe because he also he's a fan of so many things too. So
he joined us a couple weeks ago, and you guys can go back and listen to that episode. And he has a lot of fun geeking out, and we'll have to have him back again sometime.
Definitely,
just so we can make fun of him and rib on him a little bit and stuff like that. So coming up though, we're waiting on Randy to call in, and when he calls in, we'll talk to him for a while. But next week, a little tease, we're going to be talking about Netflix shows Ozarks and The Defenders.
Yeah, we'll have an in-depth conversation about them. Both. Well, you are finished with both.
Yes. So you've got to finish Defenders still, right?
Correct. I'm halfway through Defenders, roughly.
There's only like 8 episodes of Defenders. So
is it 8?
Yeah. It's not to 13. So I was surprised when it ended. I was like, wait a minute, I thought there was more, but it was just.
I thought it was longer than that. So, anyways, I'll be caught. I'll definitely have that done by then. I'm enjoying it so far. I won't get into any spoiler type stuff, but in Ozarks, I will say, surprised me. It was I had no idea what I was getting into when I got into that, and it kind of had not exactly, but Breaking Bad type feels. Like
it's almost like Breaking Redneck.
And I won't get into my review of
and
that.
I come from a long line of rednecks, so I can say that.
Next, I don't think redneck is a protected class. I think anyone can say it.
I don't know.
Unless you got that guy's wife next to you.
Well, just in case, Russell's listening and he's like, rednecks, I'm a redneck. Yes, you are, Russell. We know that and we love you.
But, great. Good show, good storytelling. The character arcs were fun.
Jason Bateman's awesome in it.
Yeah. So
what I liked about it is he's executive producing it. He directed quite a few of the episodes. This is not spoilers on the show itself.
Right.
And so he's got a hand. He's really put his whole hand into this thing, and he's really I think it's something he's looking at as a signature piece for his career.
Yeah, and I think once again this show is proof of. There's so many factors into why Hollywood was down this year, but I think Netflix is a big part of it. I think consumers of entertainment are getting used to better quality storytelling.
They want good stories.
And they want good character development.
Yes.
And in movies, unfortunately, with only 90 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours if you're going crazy, you don't have that time. Whereas Ozarks, that was a 10-hour story.
Yes.
It's 10 episodes, an hour each, and they really got the time to dig deep into who these characters are. So,
well, I think it's part of it. I think it's a lack of story. I also think it's, and I've joked with Scott, and I use Kevin Lean's term, Johnny Hairdo. It's these guys sitting up in these studios that really don't know what the people want. And I see it even on network television. Now, some people are excited about some of these shows coming back that were canceled years ago, and they're bringing this back, bringing that back, and that's fine. But it seems like there is no real creativity going on, and it's like, well, we'll just relaunch everything. And I'm seeing that in movies and TV for the network, so all this traditional stuff. So when you got like an Amazon, you've got a Netflix, you've got Hulu, even PlayStation has their own network and stuff. When all these start going in, they're creating this new content that's completely different from what we're used to seeing, and how they go about it.
Even with Netflix, though, how they are redoing stuff like Voltron, they take it and they've expanded it so much. Right. So we got Randy calling in now.
Yay.
Randy, are you there?
Hello.
Hey, welcome to the show. How's it going, Randy?
Hey.
For those,
all right. How
awesome.
Are you?
Doing well. For those listening, this is Randy Zimmerman of Flint Comix, calling from Flint, Michigan.
All the way in Flint, Michigan.
All the way. from his,
all the way in Flint, Michigan.
From your global headquarters, is that correct?
That's correct. International headquarters.
International domination headquarters. That's where he's going and taking over the comic world.
One newspaper box at a time.
That's right.
That's where it starts. He's got them little he's got red boxes all over town that store the Flint comics, and they're awesome. Where'd you get those boxes at?
Actually, we picked them up from a real estate magazine that folded.
Okay,
cool.
So you're
during
repurposing.
That big crash in 2008.
That's awesome. So you're repurposing stuff.
Yeah. We actually had the Flint Journal give us a call and say, hey, you started a new paper. You want some newspaper boxes? So we literally came in and picked them up for a really good price.
Very cool. And then, so now this upcoming weekend, we have the Flint Fall Festival. Is that what you're calling it?
Flint Comix Fall Fest.
There we go. Flint Comix Fall Fest. And both Brett and I will be there. We're excited for it. Yeah. And we know about, now this is kind of an offshoot of your spring show, which is the Flint Comic Con. Correct?
Yep.
So why were you crazy enough to get into Comic Cons?
Well, we really started the Flint Comics Con in April to thank everybody for letting us be out there for a year. Right. Those of you that aren't familiar with Flint Comics, it's a comics and entertainment newspaper that I circulate all through Genesee County. Our reach runs from, if you have a map or you know Michigan at all, we run from Birch Run to Holly and from Davison to Owasso. And we circulate 10,000 copies of this comics newspaper every month, or just about every month. The last year or so during the winter, we've had to cut down to bi-monthly because of advertising restrictions and my time.
Right.
But we are free to readers, so anytime you're in the Genesee County area, you can just run up to a Red Box or into a family restaurant, donut shop, coffee shop, bookstore, and any place you'd see that rack with all those freebie publications. publications like the Auto and RV Monthly and Natural Awakenings. We are right there on the second shelf.
Nice.
I know I've swinging up north for different things. I stopped in the Mega Coney Island there off of 75, and they have them there. And you should grab a copy when you're walking in, so it's awesome.
Yeah, you've got a really good distribution going. And let's say somebody's thinking about being a sponsor for Flint Comix. How do they get in touch with you or reach out?
They can always get a hold of me through our Flint Comix Facebook page or email me directly at flintcomics@gmail.com, and that is comics with an X.
That's right, Comix.
Comix, yep. When we originally started the paper, I was looking at it being a college-type paper and having more, let's say, college-oriented material.
Uh-huh.
And all of our advertisers wanted us to be family friendly, but we had already filed all the business papers, so we kept the X.
Well, that's a good branding, though. So I mean,
so we just tell everybody it stands for mix.
There you go.
It's a big mix.
Now, beyond the Flint Comix, you've got quite a history and background in comic books yourself.
Yeah, just, you print a comic and it gets in the blood and you just keep printing.
Yeah, that's right.
You find a way to get yourself in print and you just keep doing it. And then sooner or later you blink and it's been 30 years.
Yeah, you've worked with Caliber in the past. Is that correct? Or
I know Arrow.
Oh, yeah.
Arrow.
Yeah, I've worked with Caliber. I worked with Arrow. I printed as Arrow for a few years. I've worked with Antarctic Press, with a lot of other not quite so noteworthy publishers. Everybody has those self-publishing experiences.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think if you don't, you really need to, because it definitely is an interesting way to go about it, and it's a lot of fun too.
Builds the spirit when you don't get a check,
Well, yeah.
Well, one of the fun things I've known Randy for a few years now, and one of the fun things I always have is just, it seems like no matter what topic comes up, Randy somehow knows the backstory of everything, which is always fun.
Comics?
Anything comic-wise, yeah.
I love comics history. It just fascinates the heck out of me, but it's more my black sense of humor, or dark sense of humor.
Right.
I did a book on comics history back when I was really disgusted with the independent market, where I covered the basics of comics history, and it's really interesting to me because it's one great big large chain with each link being formed around the last links being getting a raw deal in the market.
Oh, okay.
Would that by chance be Spank the Monkey?
What?
Yeah, let's Spank the Monkey on the comic market.
What are you talking about?
The monkey's name is Spank. Don't go dirty.
I didn't know what you were talking about for a second.
Spank the Monkey's awesome.
But for instance,
Spank really isn't a bad or a more adult book. He has done some adult subjects, but he's really an opinionated little monkey off of my personal opinion.
Yes.
And the Spank the Monkey on the comic market series is, to me, it was kind of my diatribe about the market in general and the problems that the market has, and it's still facing to this day.
Now, over the years, with how much has happened technology-wise and things like that, how do you see the current market in comics compared to like when you were in Arrow and things like that?
Well, I've been looking back on it a lot lately because I've been able to, I've started an opinion column over on IndieVolt.com. I got in at a real interesting time, just as the direct market was budding up. And, I'm the kid that walked home from school and had to hit the drugstore, and I actually got my first job in comics was in high school, walking home from school, swinging into the drugstore and taking care of their comic rack for them in exchange for $1's worth of comics every week.
Okay. $1's worth now would buy like 4 pages of one issue.
Pardon?
Nowadays, $1 would buy like 4 pages of a single issue.
Oh, yeah, but back then it was 4 comics.
Right, exactly.
Comics were a quarter or 35 cents.
Yep.
it was well worth my time to keep them happy. They kept me happy. So, and it also made me like the local distributor, where I would take the bundle coming in from Ludington Daily News and put it up on the rack, and all the friends would be around. The guy who collected Spider-Man got the Spider-Man book, and the guy who collected Captain America got the Captain America book,
Cool.
And then I got to pull the comics that I wanted to read right before anybody else could buy them. So it's pretty fortunate.
Now, how many did you read that you just sat there reading like it was your own personal library?
Oh, on the right.
I read everything. Yeah, absolutely. I'd go in there and be straightening it up and check everything out.
See, I think that's probably where all your knowledge came from then, was all the years of stacking the rack there for them and getting your comics.
Well, later on, I also did a lot of comics retailing. I found a local shop that got books directly from Big Rapids. Way back when, Big Rapids was the first direct distributor here in the Midwest. They ended up selling out to Glenwood. Okay. So I would get comics in high school 3 weeks before anybody else. So all of the rest of the comic guys were, reading Avengers, and I'm like going, well, I know what happens to the next issue. So that kind of piqued my curiosity. I really got to know the comic news, during that period.
Right.
I discovered Comics Buyer's Guide pretty early on, and had it mailed to my house once a week.
Yeah,
and that was all the inside scoop and all of the.
That's one thing with today. With today, everything is so fast through the internet. Like I remember when I was really heavy into collecting comics in the mid '80s, and I had like my catalog from New England Comics that used to come, and I could order these obscure independent titles, or like these various things where you would read about the news, and there was something about it where like now, because everything is so instant, even with the news, it kind of has less value, I think. Yeah. Whereas back then,
I think you're right.
Yeah, you had to earn that knowledge, so like it meant more to you, I think.
Not just that, but you had to chase after those comics.
Yeah.
I remember not being able to find a copy of Howard the Duck #1 when it first came out because it was so scarce, and then stumbling across it when I traveled with my parents vacationing up in the UP.
Yeah, and how excited were you to find that?
Up there that had it.
Yeah, and you probably were super excited when you saw it.
Oh yeah, candy store there.
Yeah, now it's just unlimited e-downloads for people on everything.
Everything is so accessible, like you said. I remember when X-Men first restarted with X-Men 94. I got a copy of 94, and I looked, and at that point, believe it or not, X-Men was bi-monthly. It was coming out every other month. 4 months later, I run into 96, and I'm like, oh no! I had to order 94 from Richard Elf all the way up in Canada in order for me to have a copy of that book.
Wow.
That's how crazy it was.
Oh, yeah. Very cool. So, anything else regarding Flint Comic Con? If people are interested in coming out to the Flint Comics Fall Fest this weekend, how do they get tickets or find where you're at?
Well, there's no tickets. It's just $5 at the door.
All right.
And we're at the Flint Farmers Market. We started the Comics Con really to thank folks for being out there for a year. And the Comics Con, when we were originally at the Masonic Temple here in downtown Flint, when we moved from the Masonic Temple to the Flint Farmers Market, we literally doubled our attendance.
I think it was a good move.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was a good move. I was at the Masonic Temple, and it was all right. Carrying my boxes though up the stairs was not fun, but
it was just too advantageous for us not to move over to the farmers market. Plus, they kind of went after me.
Well, the farmer market is really a neat atmosphere too. You go there. So often you go to a Comic-Con and you have fun, but it's crappy food. Whereas here, there's some really good restaurants. You got some really good food vendors. You can buy fresh fruit or
I'm going straight up Hobbit on Saturday. I'm going to have breakfast, and I'm going to have second breakfast, and I've got lunch, and then I got post lunch, and I can eat it every meal. I can eat different and still not hit half the place.
It's probably the only show where I'm actually looking forward to the food I'm going to be eating that day because there's so much good choices there.
Yes.
So
absolutely. It's one of the joys of doing the convention there at the market, and it's every food. It's not just your fresh fruit. You have guys selling Lebanese food, Mexican food.
You got a really good barbecue.
Hardcore barbecue
there.
Yeah, the Vietnamese pho bowls, the sandwiches. Yeah, everything's great there. And the people there. I like the normal people that are there every week. They're all great people.
The normal people?
Yes. Unlike us interlopers who come in once every year.
They love having us there because we bring in the crowd. That's why, like I was saying, the show in April was so profitable. It was helping to keep the paper alive so well, and the fact that we were having a hard time getting through winter, it was an easy decision to do a fall show in order to try to kick us through. You almost look at it like that old Hot Wheels track with the two Energizers on each side. They kept the car
going.
Yep.
Very cool.
Well, I think it's going to be an exciting time with you on Saturday. I know I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll be treated again to some really good Debbie's Donuts and before the show opens. And
Donna's Donuts. Yeah.
Donna's Donuts. That's right.
Get your donuts right.
We have plans for that.
No donuts for
I'll
you
take
now.
Donna's, I'll take Debbie's or Susie's, whichever one's good, because they're all tasty up there.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
And it should be a lot of fun.
That's a mom and pop advertiser that's been with the paper ever since the beginning. So.
Oh, yeah. Nice. And I hear good things. It's like a good friend of mine, he's come up quite a few years for that. And first thing he says is, well, I'm coming to Comic-Con, but I get donuts. Because he stops there on his way in. I'm like, oh, yeah, you got to get the donuts.
Got to get the donuts.
Randy, is there anything else you'd like to share with us today?
No, just everybody's invited down. If you're ever in the Flint area, check out Flint Comix. We're at the show this Saturday at Farmers Market, 9 to 5. And the admission is only $5. As you walk through the door, we're going to have Star Wars droids. I was just told a day or two ago we'll have a few of the 501st there.
Awesome.
Yep.
Walking around.
Now, it's free for kids, right?
Pardon?
Free for kids, right?
Free for kids, 12 and under, yeah.
12 and under, yeah.
With a paying adult.
With a paying adult.
Absolutely. We don't want them just dropped off. We'd like the parents.
So you're not a daycare, okay?
No, not daycare. Absolutely.
And are you doing a costume contest again?
Costume contest starts at 12:30. We've got boxes, literally boxes of graphic novels that we're giving away for door prizes and for costume contest prizes.
Awesome. It'll be a good time.
Along with tickets for the Renaissance Festival.
Oh, that'll be fun. And that's going on through the end of September, so definitely plenty of time for people to get their tickets. Yeah,
definitely. Very cool.
Actually, I think it's the first weekend in October is when they stop running. So they'll have 3 or 4 chances to get out there.
Oh, very cool.
Nice.
Very cool. I know they're a sponsor of the paper.
Running Labor Day, if I'm not mistaken.
They are, actually. I'm planning on going on Labor Day and checking it out again like I do every year. So
yeah, I need to make it out there. I haven't worn my night costume in a long time, so I got to get out there.
There you go.
Need to dress up.
We're going to have as many of the talented folks that work on Flint Comix will be there as possible. In fact, Emily Velasco, this will be her first Comix Con. She's coming up from Detroit. She does a piece of cake cartoon that we've been running for the last 6-7 months.
I know Emily. She's an awesome, fantastic artist.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Emily's a fantastic artist. I know her too. Yeah, and that'll be awesome to see her. I haven't seen her in a while.
There you go. They keep wanting to have Dan Doherty over. He's in Chicago, lives in Chicago. He does Beardo that we print in the paper.
Yep.
He's also just a great guy and a great talent.
Very good.
Well, he won't be at the show this time. Hopefully sometime real soon. But Perry Toth will be there.
Awesome.
Who does our
Scary
interview
Perry
cartoon section. Scary Perry.
Yeah.
Scary Perry Toth. Kisu baby.
Yep.
It's just restarted in the paper, so she'll be there. Matt Fazell, who did the cover for our latest issue, and Matt is a genius of stick figures. He will be there. Josh Harris, Alexandra Hennings, just about everybody local that you see in the paper will have a table there and set up, showing off their stuff, and more than happy to sign autographs.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. That'd be awesome to see everybody there, and a lot of names I've definitely seen around in the last several years in independent comics, so that's going to be fun. And, of course, like Scott and I are going to be there with you guys, too, so we're excited about that. And then we're hopefully going to talk to you about getting Dominic in, because he's been begging to come in, but...
Yeah, come on. on.
I'm still waiting to hear back from a couple of vendors, but it's looking really good. I might actually have a whopping total of 5 tables open, and right now I've got them promised out to 2 people, not all 5. So we might have some opening there. There will definitely be new people there. It's not like the same April show over again.
Can I set up
the
in
April
front?
show was so crazy because everybody was so busy and something come up at the last minute.
Dominic's trying to.
I just want to set up in front of that breakfast place. Can I do that?
Dominic's like,
Want to sit there and stare at the food for a while?
yeah, free comics for food. Yeah, in exchange for food.
There you go. Yep.
Cool. Well, Randy, we want to thank you for coming on the show today, and hopefully we'll have a big turnout this weekend. I'm sure we will. It's always a pleasure doing
Looking forward
the Flint
to it.
Comic Show. So
I think we'll have to have you back sometime, though. We were talking, since you know so much about comics, maybe we'll beg you to actually drive in one time, maybe a few weeks before the spring show, and hang out with us for an hour. We'll just talk comics and have fun.
I think that sounds like a good thing. Yeah,
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome, Randy.
Let's
Thank
do
you
that.
so much for calling in. We do appreciate it. I can't wait to see you on Saturday, and I will be bringing Connie, the Comic-Con mom, with us. So
Say what?
I'll be bringing my mom, Connie.
Comic-Con mom?
Connie, the Comic-Con mom. She'll be coming with us. So you can promote her to be there, too.
Okay. Yep.
all right, you have a great
She doesn't
day.
want to miss that food. That's
Oh,
what
of
it
course
is.
not.
I don't want to miss it.
Yeah. She says she doesn't want to miss you, so she's sitting right here with us. We're taking her out to lunch afterwards.
There you go. Yeah. Awesome. Okay.
All right, thanks, Randy.
Hello, Comic-Con mom. Anytime. Thank you.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Good. All right. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, want to thank Randy for calling in and talking about Flint Comics, but
Randy's
also,
always fun. I met him at a little small con out in Grand Rapids years ago. We actually split half a table each, and that's when I really got to know Randy and became friends from there.
Yeah,
and,
he's funny. He's got a great sense of humor.
He's a great guy. And when you're a friend of Randy's, you're a friend for life. That's for sure.
Yep.
And,
And relating to Comic-Cons and fandoms, we have our sponsor T-24 we want to talk about real quick. They're a creator of unique pop culture shirts and vinyl decals at T-24.com. You'll find over 140 graphic tees, hundreds of vinyl decals based on your favorite movies, TV shows, comic books, and video games. So go to their website at www.T-24.com. That's TEEMINUS24.com. Check out their fun selection of products, and after you find something you like, use the coupon code ODD, ODD, and you'll get 10% off at checkout of your entire purchase. So
and free shipping.
Free shipping. That's always a plus. Follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, where they post about their latest designs and share updates from the conventions they attend. Shirts to fit your fandom. My fandom today, I'm wearing a Ghostbuster shirt I have from them.
I'm wearing the Cantina Royale again
Cantina
this week.
Royale. That's like a Royale with cheese.
Yeah. So that would be like Cantina quarter pounder, I guess.
Yeah, so that's...
No fat jokes, people. There will be no shaming on this show.
I said nothing.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not sure their upcoming schedule, but I know for sure at the end of September they're going to be at Baltimore. They probably have a couple other shows scheduled. We haven't received their updated
Yeah, I
list
know
on
they're at
shows yet.
Baltimore, for
But
sure.
definitely Baltimore Comic Con they'll be at in September, like 22nd through the 24th.
And if you follow them on their Facebook, you'll get all their updates for where they're at also.
Yep, Facebook, Instagram, all that, and any new shirts and stuff like that. And of course, you can still get that Groot shirt that Scott designs.
Yep, Groot. I am Groot.
Exactly.
Actually, I wore it at the Capital City this last weekend and got a lot of compliments on it. A lot of people. So every time somebody complimented, I gave them one of our flyers with T-24 on.
And I had
saying,
my
"Go
Serenity
there."
home shirt on, and definitely the same thing. It was, and in fact, a couple people I talked to, I sent over to check out Scott's shirt, and I saw them because I could see them right through the curtain, just the hint of them going over there and seeing the I Am Groot shirt. So hopefully they're ordering a bunch of those up, and so it should be pretty cool. But we have more important things to talk about. It's time for Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Try and get my daughter. I want to get my daughter to learn how to play it on the piano and do a video of her playing all the different instruments through the synthesizer.
There we go.
That'd be cool. But yeah, Game of Thrones. So if you don't know the finale yet and you don't want spoilers now,
I just want to know what's wrong with it because you should know by now because it's been everywhere. But if you don't, here's your spoiler warning.
Yeah. So maybe you're. Yeah. So this is your last chance to leave.
And you're gone.
Okay. So I guess the first thing all I can say is, wow.
Well, you know,
that was amazing, that episode.
it was an 80-minute episode that flew by. Before we get too much into it, though, the last 5 minutes I had to run into another room because my cable box went out in one room. And
oh, yeah.
and I'm like, do you have cable in here? I went to kind of come on. Do you have
Right
cable?
at the
She's
key
like,
moment, yeah.
So I had to come in. I missed, like, I was able to back it up because I do DVR it. So in case anything happens, it's hopefully recorded. But
Yeah.
So I backed it up and I caught the entire last 5 minutes. So
There's so much to cover. I mean, so much was going on in this episode, so many storylines. So where to start? I guess Littlefinger. Want to start with him?
yeah, we've been dealing with Arya as she returned to Winterfell.
Yep. Peter Baelish.
And Sansa, you know, the sister thing's been there's been a little tension between them, and Littlefinger's been over the last few episodes been putting his little hand in everything.
Yes. You know, the thing with him is he has gotten where he is because of his intelligence. He's very smart, very manipulative, and he thrives. I think the big problem he has is where his strength comes in is that no one ever suspects him. The problem is he's revealed his game plan to Sansa all through because he's been mentoring her,
Right.
trying to raise her up to be just as manipulative as him. But the problem is he taught her his tricks. So and she started seeing through it.
Well, I think the big thing is when he tried to really put the wedge between her and Arya, being the fact that I think for the longest time she thought Arya was dead.
correct.
So here's Arya come back in the season where they finally meet up again, and he tries to put this wedge between them, and basically he's trying to actually get Arya killed off is what he's trying to do.
Right. Well, and the biggest problem he has is Bran Stark,
Right.
Who has been able to see how he can go back. Bran's like the ultimate creeper, stalker, peeping Tom.
Yeah.
He can rewind any scene.
Well, he's basically omniscient. He can see everything, past, present, and future.
Well, not omniscient though, but
So-
because he only knows it if he goes to it. Just like what we find out with the revealing of Jon Snow's name is
Right, but he's able to do that.
right. But once he found out that wait, there was a marriage, rewind, then he went there.
Yeah.
So unfortunately for Littlefinger, all the deceptions he did, he can't hide from Bran.
Yeah.
Who we now know revealed everything to
as the three-eyed
Arya.
raven, he can do that. So
Arya and Sansa know the dagger came from him,
Right.
and all these things. So, but you got to give a huge credit to Littlefinger's development as a character to the actor.
Yes.
And I'm just blanked on his name. I knew his name a moment ago. But what an amazing job he has done as Littlefinger, because the role itself, like they pointed out, was never meant to be as big as it was. He's a secondary character, but the way he has portrayed him, even when he's only had a few appearances throughout the season, because he's played him so well, people kind of feel like he's present all the time.
Well, he pops in when he needs to, and being basically the devil whispering in the ear the whole time,
Right.
and helping to manipulate things like that, and giving people like little hints and saying this, saying that. I mean, he's kind of been around a lot, but at the same time, he's built up when he needs to build up and go the direction he needed to go.
Right.
And he's a worm. He found the way to worm his way into anywhere he needed to be at.
Yep.
And it all boils down to he wants power, but he's always that kind of guy you see in these type of, like a King Arthur type or something like that. He's always the guy that doesn't want to be the king. He wants to be the ear of the king and control that way.
Right. Yeah. And what made him dangerous, as what Bran revealed, is he knew the conversation between the spider and there's so many names to know. The spider, the bald-headed guy, who's with Dany now. The conversation he had with Littlefinger, what was revealed in all that is the spider's intent, all the deceptions and things he did was based on what he felt was best for the realm.
Yes.
Whereas Littlefinger, he would rather rule over ashes.
Everything's for him.
Everything's for him, and his furtherment, and Bran knows that.
Yes,
and
that's what it was, and that's when it came to the point of we thought they brought in Arya, and they thought it was a big trial for her, and they read the charges, and then Sansa turns and says Littlefinger, and he's like, huh, what?
And the way he portrayed that was great.
Oh, the look on his face, the sliminess on his face, the grin he had was just like he's like, oh yeah, this is it, this is finally it.
Yep.
I'm going to get rid of all my competition here.
Yeah, and then
Sansa's
Arya
mind.
looks at him and go, Lady Stark has asked you a question. and what was great was how he went back and forth between cowardice to trying another angle to back to cowardice to when he finally started begging, and Arya just was cold.
Yeah.
She was cold.
Well, and then, to kind of move a little bit quicker through this, when it came down to it, is she ends up killing Littlefinger, but the talk with Sansa afterwards, Sansa, you could tell, was definitely a little bothered by it. And
Who was bothered by it?
Sansa, she felt like she had killed him, and she's like, and then she says, Arya, well, you killed him. She goes, well, I was just the executioner. You gave.
Oh yeah, Arya wanted her to know. Oh yeah, actually, you did it.
it basically was, it was.
Her hands are dirty too.
Yeah, so she was trying to pawn it off, but you could tell she was bothered by that. She didn't want to feel dirty.
But the end of all that, to wrap up the Arya Sansa part, was the ending scene of them two in that segment was Arya was quoting what Ned told her. His final words to Arya was, you got to take care of your sister. We have to stick together. We're family. And she kind of uses that quote to let Sansa know we have to protect each other. And then Sansa wraps up with quoting the Stark little thing about the wolf pack and the lone wolf dies and all that. So I think moving into season 8, we're going to see a unified Arya and Sansa.
Which I think they needed. I didn't expect to see it till like maybe the first episode, but with only 6 episodes of the next season, the final season, they kind of had to move this part of the storyline along a little further this year.
Yeah, they got to wrap up all these side stories.
It was definitely a nice little surprise.
Yeah, because they got to move to what's going to be season 8, which will be the big war.
Right, and how do we get there? Well, they had the big meeting in the Dragon Pit.
Yeah,
that brought back all the top players. So you had Cersei, you had her meeting up with Jon Snow, and then of course Daenerys was a little late showing up, but she had to make a grand entrance with her 2 dragons, which was pointed out later on by Cersei that she only had 2 dragons with her.
Yeah, Cersei did notice that Dany overplayed her hand, wanted to show how much power she had, but in doing so, Cersei noticed, well, wait a minute, you showed me everything except 1 dragon. That doesn't make sense. Yeah. Something happened. Which also gave Cersei confidence that the dragons are not invincible.
Right. So she feels that something's happened to one of them, so they can be defeated. And the whole thing basically on this was a chance for them to show Cersei and try to get her on their side to fight the White Walkers, which are making their way down from the north. And
and which no one really truly believed existed. They thought Jon Snow was nuts, just as Dany did, until she saw it firsthand. Which is why they did their mission north of the Wall to capture one and bring to Cersei. And an interesting point that was made online, I thought, was when they did release the White Walker to reveal it, it charged right for Cersei, and not a single one of her people jumped in front of her to protect her.
Right.
Now, it could be said that they were all just too stunned, but I think it was purposeful to show that no one stepped in front of her.
No matter how much she rules in fear, if she can get taken out, they're kind of like, that's fine with me.
Now, I do have a theory here.
Yes.
One of the things they like to do in Game of Thrones is people usually die because of their own actions.
Right.
Like Frey, he died because he orchestrated the Red Wedding, and then Arya got revenge on him, and all these things. My gut is telling me right now in the basement of their castle is what's her name from Dorne.
Yes.
Watching her daughter slowly die.
Which we haven't seen in a few episodes.
We haven't seen them at all. I have a feeling they're going to become White Walkers or something and come back, and Cersei's going to die at her hand.
Well, it'd be interesting to see, because
that's my theory. I don't think Jaime's going to be the one to kill Cersei now.
Yeah. The thing that we haven't seen with the White Walkers is how zombie-like they are. Can they bite somebody and somebody comes back? I mean, or do they have to be created by one of the key
I don't know.
leaders? Because
that's a good point.
Because we saw during when they were capturing White Walker, the one gets killed and all his minions disintegrated too.
But if they get down to King's Landing, maybe they convert them to who knows. But I just have a feeling somehow, whether she's dead or alive, I think the one that's going to kill Cersei will be the one that she has chained up in the dungeon. That's my theory.
That's a good possibility. possibility.
Just because a lot of times they like to twist it that your course of action ends up leading to your death.
Right.
But we'll see. Of all the meetings, though, I really enjoyed, as they were walking for that meeting, we got to see all these little reunions happen between Brienne and the Hound, Tyrion and Bronn.
Mm-hmm. It brought a lot of people together. Hadn't been together in a few seasons. So.
Yeah, but I think I really enjoyed the most Brienne and the Hound talking.
Yes,
that was really good, and it was interesting. Like she's giving the Hound an update on Arya's health.
Yeah,
and she's okay, and the Hound was. You could tell the Hound was happy she was okay.
But at the same time, he was kind of like, well, kind of expected it. So.
Yeah, he's like, well, aren't you supposed to be defending her? And he's like, she doesn't need defending. Yeah. And the Hound's like, yeah, you're right. Yeah. So that was cool. And that was more just tying up all those loose ends. Like, hey, everybody's back together.
Yeah.
So not much happened there. But let's see here. But out of that, so we have the meeting, and we find out Cersei had her own little deception going during this meeting.
Yes.
Where Theon's uncle, who took over the Greyjoys.
Greyjoy, yeah.
I forget his name.
Well, he ends up leaving. He says, well, he sees basically the dead. He's like, okay, I'm not dealing with that. He's like, I've seen a lot of things. I'm out and taking off.
I did not sign up for this.
We've talked about this earlier before we got on air, and the funny thing is, it sounds like it's a complete deception, and Cersei says, oh, no, you think I set it up. I'm wondering if she truly set it up, or he was really leaving, and she had to contact him afterwards, like, hey, they're not showing a lot of that, because there was no...
I don't think she could contact him after.
Well, I think it's in the Raven, so that's how they do all that. But
yeah, but
at the same time, it's he's leaving. It's like, she could have,
I think Cersei did have my theory. I think Cersei did have a plan for a double cross.
No, there was always,
and I think he was part of it. I think he ran, but I don't think they expected a true White Walker not White Walker, white or whatever they call them, the zombie type thing they had. Yeah. They weren't. I don't think she was truly expecting that to be there. So I think they had another plan. I just think the uncle for the Greyjoys was on his feet enough to use that as the opportunity to leave.
Yeah,
I think that's what happened. But we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out next season on that. But it definitely Cersei's setting up to have this big double cross, and it's actually she even changed it a little bit. She left. Yeah. Tyrion had to go talk to her, and we see something else tying up there between those two, between brother and sister.
Yeah, they have this conversation where Tyrion reveals. First of all, he gambles that she won't kill him,
right?
And then he says to her, "I care about this family. I am not trying. I'm trying to keep our family alive.
Yeah.
Through what I'm trying to negotiate something so Dany doesn't kill us all." And then, but here's the thing. Tyrion figures out Cersei's pregnant.
Yeah.
Because Cersei keeps holding her stomach. My theory is I don't think she's really pregnant.
Well, I
think she's faking it to manipulate Jaime and Tyrion.
That was something speculated, but it's also speculated she is, but she will miscarry because there's something with her that supposedly she can't have kids again. That was mentioned before. But someone was saying, reading all these stuff online, there's so much stuff on there, so I'd have to go back and really review that.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
They said that if she is, she's probably going to miscarriage, and she's not supposed to have any more children.
Well, here's the thing. It could be, too, going back to you cause your own fate.
Right.
Well, the Lannisters were behind the Red Wedding, and they cut out the fetus in the Red Wedding of Robb Stark's wife.
Right.
So it could be that's the fate she's going to have too.
Yeah. Things come around like that too.
So we'll see. So there's that. Also, the girl from Dorne who's down there. Well, if her daughter dies because of Cersei, and she finds out Cersei's pregnant, maybe she'll do the.
She could be the one. Yeah.
We'll see. But so much going on there.
This is our speculation for season 8.
This is irresponsible speculation. But at the end scene there, where so we have the meetup between nephew John and Aunt Dany, narrated by Creepy Bran.
Yeah.
But Tyrion is in the background.
Yes.
And he looks disturbed when he walks in. There's so much speculation on what this means.
Let's go ahead real quick. Cersei does come back after leaving originally the meeting. She agrees to the terms.
After this scene that we're not shown. We don't know what is discussed.
Yeah, but then we don't know what's happened there. But then she does talk to Jaime afterwards, and basically, and Jaime's like, we can't do that. We promised. I gave my word. Jaime is now left after this point, and he's no longer wearing the royal garb, and he did cover up his hand with a black glove, so he went Jedi on everybody.
Oh, and that's after Cersei threatened to kill him.
Right, yeah, so he's leaving because he says, we got to fight this bigger threat. He sees what the true big threat is.
Well, I think two parts happen. A, that, but B, Brienne, I think, had a huge influence on Jaime.
Yes.
I think I don't think he was expecting to see her.
Yeah.
And B, I don't think he was.
It was a quick conversation about loyalty.
There is some type of feeling between the two. On what level, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
But there is something there where they do at least respect each other.
Yes.
And hearing, I think, Brienne being like, well, F loyalty.
Yep.
And this coming from the girl who loyalty is her whole life is defined by. I think that showed Jamie the degree of seriousness that this is.
Yes. It's more than just he's playing the Game of Thrones. It's basically either
game of life now.
Yeah, it's everybody. And so we get so Jamie left and that, and then go back to your other point. With,
the meetup. What's going on with Tyrion here?
Yeah.
Theories are he loves her and is upset that Jon's in there. There's other theories. The one I'm ascribing to is I believe the deal he made with Cersei was he was looking at the long game a few episodes ago, and he was very concerned Dany had no heirs.
Yes.
And Dany kept saying, well, I can't have kids. And looking down the road, if this is true, once Dany, no matter what work Dany does, when she passes away, the realm goes back into chaos and everyone's just fighting for the throne again.
Right.
I think when he figured out Cersei is pregnant, I think to him that A, gives him a succession line.
Yep.
B, according to Cersei, all she wants is continuation of the family.
Yep.
And creating a deal for heir of succession would continue the family. And C, I forgot. I just blanked.
With Jon and Dany hooking up, basically, and doing their thing on the ship, is when we come back, we don't know how much time is going to pass, because time's passing. There's a lot of bit of time between things. It's not like this happened today, this happened tomorrow, so there is months that can pass.
I remember my C. C, the baby is Tyrion's way of getting back into the family, I think, because if he can prove to Cersei he loves this kid, he can be allowed.
Well, he said, he told her, I loved every one of your children.
Right, and he said, even in your dark heart, or however he said it, you know that is true. Right,
because he did everything to help protect them, and even when he was accused of killing the one, it wasn't true on that. But got a lot to see with that coming up with the next season. We got to talk real quick before we sign off here.
Jon Snow is Aegon. We know he's legit now. He's
Bran said, talked to Sam about it, and so we got to tell Jon that who he is. And I think everything before he does something he shouldn't do, and guess what? He did it.
And next season we'll see creepy Bran watching him.
Yes. We need to do some artwork and do the artwork of them and have Bran hanging there.
Now to move to the most awesome scene of the episode, the ice dragon.
Yes, we got to talk about this real quick because we're running close out of time here, but we've got to see the ice dragon in action, ridden by the Ice King. And what did he do? He took out the wall.
Oh my goodness, that was insane.
And actually, wasn't they call it the keep or something like that? Because it was off to the side. When you watch the map and they show at the beginning, it wasn't the main wall.
This was Eastgate. This was Eastgate. So this was not where Castle Black was. Yeah. This isn't over there. So this isn't where the main.
They're basically going to come around. We've speculated ourselves around the lake and the rivers and everything.
Oh,
frozen over
now.
Yeah. Well, they took out the wall. So they can just walk the wall. They can just come right down because all the ocean is all frozen too. So
it was, and you got Tormund and the other guy there with the one eye.
Yep.
I think they're alive.
Did they survive? I think they lived.
Yeah. People are. It's funny reading the post.
I think we'll see them first.
So many people are like, "You better not have killed the one ginger." I saw posts like that, or if Tormund's dead, we riot. Tormund's such an awesome character. Hopefully, he does survive everything. Because although with the way Game of Thrones is, killing him would cause quite a bit of grief to fans. So that probably means they will kill him. But I think he's alive for now.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to talk about this more. We're going to set up. We're talking about doing some Facebook Live videos separate from the show. Watch for this. Maybe we'll do a special when we talk about Game of Thrones. But I got to talk about Loringer real quick.
Yeah, let's get
because we don't want to forget Loringer because they are a proud sponsor of Odd Musings.
An amazing sponsor.
And they are located in Belleville, Michigan, as well as Dexter, Michigan. And they offer tons of techniques from full adjustments to massages. They have traction available. They have the vegan massage tables, orthotics. They have Young Living essential oils, aromatherapy. They have some of the best doctors we deal with. I know Scott and I were both there yesterday. Scott brought Ashley in. I went in for my weekly adjustment.
Ashley had Dr. Anna yesterday. Great adjustment she had. She went, each each time that she goes, because she's a newer patient, they've been upping how much pressure they use.
Yep.
And Ashley really was happy with yesterday, because they went much more aggressive this time, because they've been working her up to that. You don't want to just go full blown,
right?
Because otherwise you'll be hurting. So Ashley was very happy with how she felt yesterday, and we're looking forward to our continued treatment through them.
Well, and you can get treated by them too, or find out somebody that is in their type of network of chiropractor they do. You can give them a call in Belleville at 734-697-4244 and talk to them about coming in either in Belleville or Dexter. And if you don't live in the Southeast Michigan area, give them a call and say, well, this is where I live at. Who can you recommend? They will definitely recommend somebody for you guys. And check them out online at LoringerFamilyChiropractic.com.
Yep.
Links available at oddmusings.com. And don't forget to oddmusings.com to like and subscribe to all of our podcasts, YouTube, Stitcher, iTunes, SoundCloud, and anything else we can find out in the future here. Any last quick things before we have to sign off here?
Just want to remind people this weekend, go out to Flint Comix Fall Fest if you're in the Flint area.
Even at Flint Farmers Market.
At Flint Farmers Market, it will be a great time. I promise. You'll get great food at there. And also a reminder, next weekend we will be going, or next week I should say, on the show we will be covering Ozarks and Defenders in their entirety. So if you want to get caught up on that to join the fun conversation, start watching.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Dom, roll that for us, please.